This is the story of the Halloween franchise in 3 minutes. Let's begin.
15 years after 6-year-old Michael Myers kills his teenage sister with a kitchen knife, he escapes a mental institution and returns to Haddonfield. He's pursued by his therapist, Dr. Loomis. Michael borrows a mechanic's uniform and dons the iconic pale William Shatner mask, arriving home just in time for Halloween. He steals his sister's gravestone, breaks into his old house, and stalks 3 teenage babysitters, breathing heavily all day. That night, he strangles 2 babysitters to death and stabs a boyfriend to the wall. Laurie Strode, the smart one who studies and doesn't have sex, escapes. Let that be a lesson to you, kids. Laurie gets the kids to safety, and Loomis shoots Michael off a balcony, but his body disappears. A frantic Loomis combs the neighborhood until they crush Michael between a cop car and a van, which explodes. But it isn't Michael, it's just some teen in the wrong mask at the wrong time. Michael follows Laurie to the hospital where he kills off the staff one by one. Loomis investigates a cryptic message Michael left in a school. Dr. Marlon Chambers reveals to Loomis Laurie Strode is in fact Michael Myers' baby sister. Michael corners Loomis and Laurie in an operating room. Laurie flees as Loomis sacrifices himself to stop Michael. Michael somehow stumbles away from the explosion, but collapses. Anyway, forget literally all of that, because Halloween 3 Season of the Witch has nothing to do with Michael Myers or anything really. An alcoholic deadbeat dad abandons his kids to help an attractive woman investigate an eccentric toy factory tycoon. The toy boss has an army of robots and a diabolical plan to kill all children over the world via annoying TV commercial-activated Halloween masks that make the wearers' heads explode with gross bugs. Also something about Stonehenge, who knows. Michael Myers wakes from a coma to chase Laurie's secret daughter, Jamie, and her foster sister, Rachel. Dr. Loomis returns to Haddonfield, running around pointing a gun at basically everyone as usual. Michael electrocutes a guy so bad the whole town loses power, causing angry rednecks to form a lynch mob. Michael slashes his way through teenagers and cops until Rachel hits him with a fire extinguisher. The lynch mob drives Rachel and Jamie to safety. Michael catches a ride too, killing the men. Rachel manages to throw Michael off the truck and use it against him. More townsfolk show up just in time to fill Michael full of bullets, sending him into a mine shaft. Back home, Jamie's evil surfaces and she kills her mom, causing Dr. Loomis to scream a lot. Michael returns a year later and kills Rachel, a bunch of her friends, and a few insufferable cops with whatever he could find at Home Depot. Michael chases Jamie to the old Myers house, where Loomis shoots him with a tranquilizer gun. The cops apprehend Michael, but a mysterious man in black frees him. 6 years later, Jamie and her newborn escape a cult led by the man in black, but she's killed shortly after hiding the baby. Paul Rudd, Tommy Doyle, finds the baby. Loomis and his pal Dr. Wynn head to Haddonfield. A few stabbings and a head explosion later, Wynn is revealed to be the man in black. The cult abducts Tommy, Loomis, the baby, and some relatives of Laurie's. Michael's usual killing spree is cut short when Tommy shoots him full of syringes, then beats him to death with a pipe. Tommy escapes with Kara and the baby. Dr. Loomis chooses to stay behind. Pick at those last few movies. Laurie Strode and her teenage son live under a new identities at a boarding school where she's a headmistress. Michael tracks down Laurie's new address and hits the road just in time for Halloween. He terrorizes Laurie's son and his rowdy pals. Laurie fights off her crazed brother until he falls from a balcony. Laurie tries to stab the lifeless Michael, but is stopped by campus guard LL Cool J, making slasher movie history as a black character who actually survives. Laurie steals the ambulance carrying Michael's body, driving it off the road and pinning it to a tree where she chops his head off. Except it wasn't Michael. Laurie actually beheaded a paramedic that Michael put his mask on. Michael tracks Laurie to an asylum and drops her off a roof. Meanwhile, a group of rowdy teens are selected to spend Halloween night at the Myers house for a webcam reality show run by Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks. Michael kills almost everyone until Busta Rhymes kung fu kicks him the f*** out a window. Michael burns in a garage. This time he stays dead all the way to the morgue. 40 years after his Halloween massacre in Haddonfield, some podcasters visit Michael Myers in the mental hospital and show him his old mask. The vibes make everyone else flip out, but he doesn't react. For some reason, the hospital decides to transfer him the night before Halloween, and what are the odds? His bus crashes. He gets loose and kills the podcasters and takes his mask back. Meanwhile, Laurie tries to reconnect with her daughter and granddaughter, who are tired of how traumatized she still is from that whole serial killer thing. Michael gets back to Haddonfield on Halloween night, kills some teens, parents, and cops, and it's revealed that his doctor is evil and helped him escape. But Michael doesn't care, and he kills that guy too! Oh, and there's this old police officer from the first movie, but that doesn't really go anywhere. Man, this movie has a lot of weird threads. Michael corners Laurie and her family in her spooky house full of mannequins, but they trap him in the basement and burn the place down, and then hitch a ride to safety in the back of a truck. And that's it! Those are all of the Halloween movies. They didn't make any more of them, and they definitely didn't remake them. Okay, fine. Here's what happened at the Rob Zombie Halloween movies in more time than they deserve. Michael is a dirty kid from a gross family, and it takes an entire hour for Michael to grow up and get to Haddonfield on Halloween night. Then there's that sequel nobody was asking for where he follows his mom's ghost in like a weird spectral horse around town while trying to kill Laurie again. Yes, thankfully these never happen. And that's Halloween in 3! Is that timer right? Wow, I went way over this time. But that's Halloween in 4 minutes, I guess. Until the sequels come out, we try to keep it under 5 minutes. Don't forget to stab that like button.